With me from Capital Network here in the studio this morning, I'm joined by Emma Ulker. Emma, good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning.
And a reminder for Emma's full report, do click on the eye in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Of course, you wrote an updated report on Shield Therapeutics following the approval for Feraccru in the US.
That's right.
A significant development for Shield.
Absolutely, and clearly FDA approval is no small achievement, and the news we've been waiting for some time for Feraccru, and it's going to be known as Accrufer in the US. So Shield have achieved their targets, and clearly, you know, it's excellent news for the company. And in terms also of the approved label, that is much broader. Well, shall we say it's the broadest possible that they could have hoped for. If we, you know, digging into the data that was submitted for the approval, there were much narrower populations. But here we have the broadest possible label approved. That's to say for iron deficiency with or without anaemia, and with no restriction to any particular populations within that. Whereas the approval data or the studies that were submitted were in more specialist or much narrower populations. So this is the best possible outcome for Shield.
And a big market?
Well, estimates at the moment, I think, are for iron replacement prescription therapies around $1 billion US. Although, of course, if compliance with treatments does improve, there is also scope for that market to increase in size. And from this perspective, it looks as if Shield are very well positioned to gain a fairly good proportion of that market over time, considering the broad label that they've achieved.
Right, so what would your expectations be as far as developments and next steps from here? The next steps will be to sort of carry on with the search for a partner to commercialise Accrufer in the US. The company will be looking probably for a specialist partner who'll be able to approach initially the key opinion leaders or the specialist physicians in hospitals, and probably to start off with for those narrower populations. Those are, just as a reminder, chronic kidney disease and inflammatory bowel disease. So that's a great starting point, and we'd expect to see news over the coming months, I think. Given the share price, it has done well this year, particularly on the back of this approval. What's your view on the current valuation?
From my perspective, I can see that the shares have risen very strongly already this year. We're now approaching a valuation of Shield, a market cap of around the 200 million mark. That is approaching the level that they floated at back in 2016, and at that time that was before it had achieved European and US approvals, as well of course as finding partners in Europe to commercialise Feraccru. So they've made significant progress, but I would say, you know, there could be further upside, specifically if the company was to secure a good partnership. The prospects look fairly good, even so at this stage.
Emma, good to get your views.
Thank you.
And a reminder, Emma's full report available by clicking the eye in the top right-hand corner of your screen.